welcome back to another Geck tutorial, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make an NPC with dialogue. In this tutorial we won't be making a completely new NPC, I made that in my last video. Rather, we're going to be using our existing NPC we made in the last video and just adding dialogue to that. It's not too tough to do, so just stay with me throughout it because it can get a bit complicated, and I'll explain everything that you need to know. So first I'm going to go to my cell view, world space, and go down to Wasteland NV, go to Goodsprings. So I'm loading into Goodsprings over here, and I'm just going to go over to where my NPC is. Now my NPC isn't in the world space, so I'm just going to drag him in wherever he is. I need to find him first. But your NPC should be in the world space already if you followed my last tutorial. Okay, so here's my NPC. I just made him real quick. And yep, that's my NPC right there. I'm gonna go over to my object window over here, and I'm gonna go down to, well, up to actor data. I'll press the plus to make it bigger, and I'll go down to voice type, and I'll right click, and I'll press new. And now I'm gonna give it a new ID. Preferably you would kind of name this similar to your NPC. So let's say your NPC was called Bob. You'd probably call this maybe like Bob voice type 01 or something, because you're gonna have multiple voice types. So maybe if you had a quest that like the guy starts out as a normal person but then turns into a ghoul, you want two different voice types for that. So you might say Bob voice type 01 when he's normal and Bob voice type 02 when he's a ghoul. So it's good to have options to expand your NPC when you're making mods. Like when you're making a mod, you always want to make it expandable. You never want to just like let's say you want to make a new voice type. Now you gotta name it something else. It got messy. If you want to have two different dialogue trees, it'll just get all messy. So you just want to keep it all concise. You know what I mean? So when you're naming things, just make sure to have them very organized. And a little trick that I like to do sometimes is if I'm making a quest mod, I'll put 3 A's before it in any ID. So let's say I'm making a new NPC, it would be AAA test NPC. If I made a new object, it would be called AAA chair, AAA voice type. And what that does is if you go down to all, and if you filter with AAA, every single object in your mod and your mod only will show up. You know, so it's a lot easier to sort out through things that way. So that's a little tip if you want to use it, you know. But for me, I'm not going to use this mod again. I don't really care about the organization. So I'm just going to call it test NPC voice type 01. Gender male, and I will not allow default dialogue. Okay. Now I'm going to test NPC voice type. So now I'm going to double click my NPC here. Edit base, and in the voice type over here I'm going to click down and I'm going to look for my test NPC voice type 01. Perfect. I'm going to press OK, and that's the first step done. Now we're going to actually make the dialogue. So we're going to go over up here to actor data and we're going to click on quest. Now, dialogue in this game works a bit strange. It's hard to get used to. There are no dialogue like objects. Rather, every single dialogue that an NPC has is in a quest. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a quest with the dialogue. You can just have dialogue in a quest, if that makes sense. So, you don't need to have a fetch quest just of dialogue, if that makes sense. So it is a bit tough to get used to how dialogue is a quest, but once you get used to it, it's completely normal. So I'm going to right click anywhere and press new, and here we have this quest pop-up window. Quest name, the player will never see, so I'll just call it test NPC dialogue. Let's say spell dialogue. It doesn't really matter, that's not how you spell dialogue, is it? Yeah, that's how you spell dialogue. And for the ID, I'll do the exact same thing, because the players aren't going to see it. Our priority, I always do 55. To be honest, I don't even know what the priority really does. It definitely does something. That might be which way that the quest is maybe start. I don't know what the priority does. I couldn't tell you. It's been too long since I've done this. We're gonna click start game enabled, and we're gonna press OK, and we're gonna go back into the quest straight away. What pressing OK did is it kind of saved this, so it's just good practice that if you're gonna be editing a big long quest, you want to save quite often, because if you do happen to maybe crash, you don't lose everything, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go to the second tab that says quest stages, I think. Is it? No. We're gonna go over to the fourth one that says topics. And when you start it, when you start your Geck thing, you might see this and it looks like there's nothing. I had this problem when I first started, and this drove me crazy for hours. I didn't know how to fix this. But in the top here, you'll see there's nothing, and there's nothing you can click on. You can't make a new dialogue thing. Well, you can, but for me it didn't. You just have to drag out these sliders, and now you can click in each column. That it was hours of research just to get that to work, and it was just that. So if you have a problem, just drag out the top sliders. That should fix it. Now we're gonna add a topic for our NPC. Now for the first topic, it's just gonna be a greeting. So we're gonna right click, add topic, and I'm just gonna look for a greeting. Perfect, it's in all capital letters. I'm gonna press OK. And for the info, over here I'm gonna right click. Oh no, I'm gonna right click. I'm going to right click, press new. Give it a second to load. I'm going to get a new response pop up here, and it's going to have response text and 150 max characters. Response text, I'm just going to say hello. Just that. It's also good not to use any punctuation really in your, like, you never want to put full stops in dialogue because it breaks the flow. Like, you do want to put commas and exclamation marks and question marks, but you don't want to put full stops because it just looks, once you're in game, it just looks out of place. You know what I mean? Because in most of the game, there aren't really full stops that often, so it just looks out of place. It's a response text. We're going to actually go down now to this audio kind of section, and this is going to be how the person says it. Now, there's multiple ways you can do this. For this tutorial, we're going to be doing it through the Geck. In a future tutorial, I might show you how to add voice effects to it and how to lip sync it to make their lips move. But that does require you to have, I think it's Morrowind or Oblivion. I think you need Oblivion, which is a different game with kind of the same Gamebryo engine, and that's like a whole 30-minute process. So it's quite tough to set it up. I don't have time in this video. So for now, it's not, the lips aren't going to move, but there's going to be audio at least. So there'll be at least that, and you can always put a mask over to cover it up, you know. So in the, oh, and also once you click away, you'll probably get a check spelling thing. You can just press cancel. Just cancel it. I think you need, Oblivion again to fix that, but again, I haven't bothered yet. Because it doesn't really, just press cancel. Just press cancel. In the audio, we're gonna right click down here. Or I guess we won't. Hang on. Press OK. Okay, there we go. So once you have your response section, you should press OK, and you're gonna double click back into it. And that's that. So now that I have the response window open again, I'm going to go over down to audio. I'm going to press record, and what this is going to do is this is going to have the actual audio the NPC is going to say. So it is a bit buggy because sometimes it might crash your Geck, so I'd recommend saving. I won't, because actually I will. It's always good practice to save. I'll save and I'll go back into the test NPC dialogue. It's always good to save. But I find when you're recording dialogue, it does get a bit buggy and it can crash a game, so just be careful of that. So response text hello. I'm gonna press record. Hello. Press done. I'm gonna press preview. Press preview. Hello. Perfect. That'll do the job. You can hear there's a bit of background hissing. That's just because when I edit my videos, I go into Audacity and I remove the background noise and add a bit of I just level out the audio a bit more to make it sound better. So that is one thing you can't do through the Geck. You can't edit the audio unless you go into the actual files and replace them there. It's very easy to do, and I'll show you how to do that in another episode. If you want, you can look up another tutorial. But yeah, for the Geck, it's kind of just a bare bones thing. Like, just press record, preview it, see if it sounds good. Hello. Sounds good to me. I'll press save. Okay, that's fine. No lip files will be generated. That is okay. We have our voice dialogue thingy in here, and you press OK. And at the bottom right of the speaker, you're gonna want to put in your NPC. The NPC is called test NPC, and in the bottom here, in the conditions, I'll drag this out again if I can. It doesn't really matter dragging these ones out here, but you can if you want. You're going to go down to conditions, you're going to right click and press new. And this is a very important step. Otherwise, every single NPC in the entire game will say hello with your own voice type. So make sure to not skip this step. Once you press new, you're going to get a condition item. The condition function is going to be get is ID. Function parameters, which is the parameters for the function, you know, like there's no other way to explain it. The parameters for the function equals 1, we can leave alone. We're going to be focusing on function parameters. We're going to click on the button and we'll go down to test NPC, press OK, OK, and now that's done. Now whenever you say hello to the NPC, he's going to say hello in your own custom voice dialogue line, and he's going to say hello. Now I'm going to make a new topic, and this time I'm going to right click and do a new topic. I'm going to call this one weather 01. So I'm going to ask him about the weather. So I'm going to press new, and instantly I'm going to press OK, because what I find easiest is whenever you write in this top box, that's the response text. So I would type in, yes, the weather is amazing today. You know what I mean? That's what I type in. But sometimes you'll get, you might, you're not confused, but sometimes you'll autopilot and you might accidentally put in the prompt in here. So you might say, how's the weather? But that's what the NPC is going to say. So when you're starting out, it's probably better to put the prompt text in first and then the response text. For the prompt text, I'm going to put in how's the weather today? Perfect. In the, just double click to edit it. In the response text here, I'm going to say the weather is amazing today. And I'm going to go back to my greeting, and I'm going to copy all conditions and conditions thing down here. Go back into my weather topic, and I'm going to paste conditions. And that's going to take care of the get is ID function. Now in the greeting topic, we need to add this to the choices. So we're going to add a topic, and this is going to be in the box whenever you're talking to an NPC and they're kind of done saying whatever. These are going to be the choices that you get. So I'm going to say weather 01 would be the first choice. And really quickly, I'm going to make a goodbye topic. So I'm going to make a new topic called goodbye. Seems to be a duplicate. So I'll do test NPC goodbye. Perfect. And press OK. I now my goodbye topic here. I'm just going to make a new response text and I'm going to say goodbye. So goodbye. Cancel. OK. Prompt will be goodbye. And they'll say goodbye back. And the greeting, I'm going to add a choice called test NPC goodbye. And I'll paste my conditions. And I'm going to check the box in here that says goodbye, which means that he'll exit the dialogue once he's done talking. And now I'm just going to record a few voice lines for my NPC. So I'm going to do one more check. Here's how I like to check my dialogues. I like to go through it step by step. So in the greeting thing, he's going to say hello. There's no prompt, that's good. These are all good, the conditions are good. The choices after he says hello will be weather01 and test NPC goodbye. The speaker is test NPC. He is dialogue, everything's good. We're now going to go over to weather01. I'm going to a weather01 topic and I see I've forgotten to give a choice of goodbye. So that's why I always check it, because I forgot to add my choice for goodbye. So we caught it. And now once you say the weather is amazing today, we'll have a choice to say goodbye. He's going to say goodbye, we're going to say goodbye. Goodbye is activated, only he is going to say it. And it looks good. So now the quest dialogue is done for him. One more check, yep. Dialogue. It is done. We'll press OK. And we're going to go over to our NPC again, press edit. I think we might need to just do a quick check to make sure everything's looking good. The voice type is set to the right one. Okay. So yeah, it looks all good. It looks like everything's in check. When we load into the game, the test NPC should start talking now. So I'm going to save and I will see you in game. Also, really quickly, if any of the topics don't work when you go into game, for me, the hello topic wasn't working for me when I went into game. Try re-recording your voice lines because sometimes they can get bugged out and they won't save properly. So, for example, my hello, he wasn't saying hello, like the audio wasn't coming through. So I just went down here and I recorded it again, previewed it, it was good, and I pressed save. So just, if something isn't working, just make sure to re-record it. And if it still doesn't help, just let me know in the comments down below. And I'll try helping you out as best as I can through the YouTube comments. So, just a little heads up if something isn't working. Okay, so here I am in game. I see my NPC wandering around over here. Press E to talk to him. Hello. He says hello. That's good. We got two options. How's the weather today? The weather is amazing today. Perfect. And now we have one option anymore. We have one option now. And it says goodbye. We're going to press goodbye. Goodbye. He says goodbye. And we go out the dialogue and we can go into him again. Hello. How's the weather today? The weather is amazing today. Goodbye. Goodbye. And you can add as many topics as you want to the NPC using the exact same method as I showed you today. So that's how you make dialogue for an NPC. There is no lip syncing, but I might go over that in a different tutorial. And how to add effects to your voice, if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. Sorry it took me so long to get this tutorial out. It was just, didn't really have any motivation to do it, but I decided to make another one. No guarantees that another one will be coming out anytime soon, but I'll try my best. Next video I might look at maybe going into activators and objects, or maybe even just speech checks, I'm not sure. I kind of want to do a kind of hour-long video where I make a quest start to finish. I might actually do a quest tutorial next time where I show you how to make a fetch quest. If that's something you'd be interested in seeing. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new. And yeah, I'll see you next video. Goodbye.